Minister of Service Alberta and Minister of Status of Women.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise to acknowledge the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, an annual day on November 25th, which is tomorrow, designated by the United Nations General Assembly in 1999. To be free from violence is a basic human right, and every citizen has the right to live without fear, harassment, and violence. Around the world and here in Alberta, women continue to experience actions that threaten their dignity as human beings. It can be a demeaning comment, an act of physical or sexual violence, or it can end a life. Mr. Speaker, some people believe violence against women and girls only happens in other parts of the world. Yet I look around this assembly to see the faces of women who have courageously shared their stories of abuse and survival. It happens in Alberta, Mr. Speaker, and it happens far too often, leaving survivors to deal with fear, shame, powerlessness, and loneliness. There is no excuse, Mr. Speaker, no reason that validates violence against women and girls, not a disagreement, not drinking too much, not the loss of a job. Canada's Chief Public Health Officer called family violence a serious public health issue, noting women are most likely to experience violence, and the outcome is even more dire for Indigenous women. Today and every day, I will stand up to violence against women and girls in this province. It is entirely possible to prevent gender-based violence, and even more importantly, it is essential that we do. That's where the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, this campaign leads the way. Every day from tomorrow until 16 days later, on Human Rights Day on December 10th, Status of Women will highlight a different action aimed at preventing and eventually stopping violence against women and girls. In addition, on December 6th, the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women in Canada, we will be holding a vigil on the front steps, Mr. Speaker, of the Legislature in commemoration of the 14 young women who were murdered at l'École Polytechnique de Montréal, who died only because they were women. You'll notice many members, Mr. Speaker, wearing an orange button today with the phrase, "Share your action, 16 days, 16 ways," and our Twitter handle at Alberta_women. We wear orange as it's the United Nations symbol of a brighter future and a future without violence. Tomorrow, the Calgary Tower and the high-level bridge in Edmonton will glow orange to remind us that a future without violence is possible. We can all be part of the solution to a problem that, Mr. Speaker, has absolutely no place in our province. Thank you.